I need you to drop into the comments and tell me very quickly how you would define a democracy. Have you done that? Great, let's proceed. The simplest definition is that a democracy entails a government that is run by the majority of the people, typically through elected officials. Now, obviously, the US is not a straight democracy. We are a constitutional republic, but we do have a lot of democratic processes that are built into our constitution and rule of law. But I have a bee in my bonnet over this issue because the left has talked about nothing but democracy for the past 4 to 5 years. They are constantly saying that democracy is under attack, that you have to trust them to save democracy, that they are the ones who are championing democracy, they're the defenders of democracy. They are hyperfixated on this word. And yet they continue to show over and over that they actually hate democracy. One example of that is the reaction of many Democrats to a common sense piece of legislation that has been advancing rapidly across the country over the past year. The REINS Act has passed in a number of states, and all it says is that elected officials should be the ones who actually make the laws that people have to live under. Therefore, if unelected bureaucrats are making rules and regulations that are akin to laws that carry a substantial financial impact on the people, those rules and regulations should have to be considered by and voted on by the representatives. When I tell you there has been weeping and gnashing of teeth and actual disinformation all over this piece of legislation. Recently, this bill passed with bipartisan support in North Carolina, but the Democrat governor vetoed it, and then they came back and overrode his veto. Embarrassing. Shortly thereafter, this left-wing think tank quote, in North Carolina called Carolina Forward came out with this diatribe where they seem to only have one brain cell to rub together, claiming that the REINS Act is essentially going to melt society down to the ground. And they try to use this example of a situation with Duke Energy in 2014 that involved a coal ash disaster. A coal ash disaster that happened before the REINS Act was passed, mind you. They say after Duke Energy's negligence caused one of the worst environmental disasters in the state's recent history, the NCDEQ had to issue new rules and regulatory actions to direct cleanup, recovery, and compliance. And their complaint is that now that the REINS Act is in place, this government agency, DEQ, would no longer have the authority to just go take these actions carte blanche. But what they're missing here is if those actions needed to be taken, they absolutely could still recommend them. They would just have to be approved by the legislature, by the people who have actually been elected to make the laws. You cannot claim to support democracy and then be upset when people actually demand that they have representation.